Okay. Very intense. What's it like reliving all that?
It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all.
Lots of questions. Let's start with the email. We got some questions wanting to know if you always communicate about such serious relationship issues via email. David, why did you send those thoughts in an email?
I think sometimes your thoughts are better thought out if you write them down, as opposed to you're in the moment.
I've done that because I feel like, sometimes you can say things you don't mean, and sometimes it's better to sort of journal it. And sometimes I'll just write it to myself and then read it to him so I know I'm clear on what I'm saying.
I remember typing the email out of my office. Tears were just streaming down my eyes because it's a very difficult thing, because I love Shannon, I certainly love my kids, and I love my family. So I just remembered, because I'm kind of one that'll hold things inside, and I think it just all flushed in this email. And I apologized 24 hours later about the email, so.
And it's still talked about, so it's hard, it's frustrating, because Tamara betrayed my trust and went to Heather and told me something that she said that she didn't.
Why did you tell Heather about the email?
Because Heather and I were talking, we were making up.
She said it in it wasn't a gossipy, mean way. It was she was always very supportive of Shannon. She was saying it to me in a very
so supportive
shut it down
that
kind of
I was
way.
described as a sad soul.
You are a sad soul.
I'm not a sad soul.
Okay.
Not a sad soul.
She was having a sad moment during filming.
That's a sad
At the
moment.
time. I don't mean right this second.
Geneva from Pittsburgh said, Shannon, Vicky warned you, tell a Tamra telephone. Tamra didn't betray your trust and gossip to Heather. None of this would have happened. Do you blame Tamra for starting?
Absolutely, I blame her for starting to stir this whole thing up. And as you watch the season after this whole email, you see how she continually stirs the pot with the take the Bedoras down comment.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
saying that I drink straight vodka. When she had been with me everywhere, I drink a shot of vodka and I get a large Pellegrino and I make 2 to 3 drinks out of it.
Yeah, but you drink a lot, Shannon.
You tell everyone that I have a drinking problem, yet you're on camera saying you can't even remember the second half of Lizzie's party.
I couldn't. I had too much to drink.
I remember 100% of it because I didn't drink too much. Don't talk to me about my drinking.
Okay.
Don't.
Okay.
So after you told Tamra, you told Heather.
I just want to let you know, and I've told you this before, that when I was talking to Heather, I'm talking to one of my good friends as if I was talking to Vicky. It wasn't like I was trying to cause this big, well, what it did cause. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to do that. So when you got the text message, I'm like, F you, Heather. That was my very first comment. It was, because I thought, I just left you, and now she's getting a text message saying
The whole situation
Heather is telling the world. And I'm like,
No, I didn't say Heather's telling the world.
all of Newport. And I thought Heather wouldn't do that.
Well,
that's not
because I don't repeat stuff. But should I have said anything? No. I apologize for saying that. I really felt like it wasn't a news alert. Like it wasn't that big a deal.
I want to move on to when Shannon went over to Heather's house to discuss the email. Caitlin from New Haven, Connecticut said, Heather, kicking Shannon out of your house when she was obviously at her lowest point was the coldest thing I've ever seen. Where is your compassion?
I had no idea what was going on with you. I feel terrible. I was so wrapped up in what was going on with myself, I couldn't see. If I had a time machine and I could go back, I still wouldn't have thrown Tamara under the bus, because we had just made up and I felt like I was in a lose-lose. You would have just run back to her and told her that I said it. But I wish I had been softer and easier with you, and I am very, very sorry for that.
I appreciate that, because that was probably one of the hardest, I'm not going to get emotional, but that was probably one of the hardest nights of my life. Hardest nights of my life.
Terry, do you think Heather did the right thing by asking Shannon to leave the house?
I felt very bad for her. I just thought it was, for me, very odd that she's having these horrible problems in her marriage and people are talking, doing the telephone effect, and I thought, why is she in my house? Why isn't she in her house talking to her husband about her marriage?
We had resolved it at that point, Terry.
Heather, you continuously said that you never kicked Shannon out of your house, but that you politely asked her to leave.
Thing.
I don't think I said politely. I think I just said I asked her to leave.
But let's call it what it is. You kicked me out of your house.
I asked you to leave my house. You can call it whatever you want. I asked you to leave. I said, we're done. Please leave.
we're done, please leave, equals you kicked me out of your house. The semantics game, it's just crazy to me. You did kick me out of your house. I appreciate your apology, and I accept your apology because I'm a forgiving person. You apologized to me once, and I will forgive you for it, which makes it so difficult for me because I apologized to you at least 5 times for yelling at you.
I don't think I was looking for another apology. I think I was always trying to explain where I was coming from.
Okay.
Tamara, I have to say, that night at Lizzie's party, it seemed like you were at the center of a lot of things that night.
Seems like it.
Sure.
Do you see that, or?
Well, the whole thing about the Bedores, taking the Bedores down, I felt like Shannon had an agenda. She got in the limo, started talking to David about it. As soon as we got there, we're having a good time, and then she brings it up, and I'm like, why are you bringing that up? You know, if you bring it up, it's going to be an issue the rest of the night.
There's the truth and the goddamn truth. Tamara, you look so bad with all of your lies that
Oh,
you
yeah, my
continue to
lies.
make.
What are my lies, Shannon?
You make stuff up. You either made up the take the Bedores down comment, or Terry said it and you backtracked on it.
Listen, I swear to God, I swear to my children that I did not say that.
Well, Vicky has said
You
on the
said
show
no.
that you said it.
Right. You said it
Well,
to
why
me.
didn't you bring it up that night?
I don't know if Terry ever said it. That's where I'm at. I didn't hear it from Terry. I heard it from you.